As anyone who has ever been on the wrong side of a rather cynical Sunday league or five-a-side tackle can tell you, football is a contact sport, and the midfield battle often requires a good deal of physicality to ensure that you stamp your authority on the game for crucial 50-50s and turn the game to your team's advantage. Without a bit of bite and aggression, it can be easy to get rolled over by a more assertive and determined side. However, there are those players who take things a little bit too far and find themselves going beyond what is required in the name of tenacity and ending up taking an early bath because they've done something horrific. So because football only started in 1992, we're going to be looking at players with the worst disciplinary record in the Premier League era. Number 5, Lee Cattermole. With 7 red cards to his name, Cattermole currently sits as 5th in the list of Premier League players with the worst disciplinary record. But remarkably, his minutes to booking ratio, which includes red cards and yellows, is actually the highest of any player in the league's history. Former manager Martin O'Neill praised him for having the heart of a lion, but the man that they sometimes call Clattermole might spend a bit more time on the pitch if he learned to play a little bit more gentle. Fun fact, I once refused to serve Lee Cattermole in a pub, and he called me a certain swear word. In at number 4 is Roy Keane. Keano's reputation for being one of the game's most fierce competitors and the nastiest midfielders around was pretty much confirmed after that infamous incident with Alf Inge Haaland. Surprisingly though, he only has 4 straight red cards to his name and 3 double yellows, which is pretty low for a player that you think is completely nuts. While he's only at number 4 on this list, he may well top the list of the most intimidating Premier League players in history. His battles with Patrick Vieira and the sort of lesser well-known one with Alan Shearer made for incredible viewing. And he wasn't just scary on the pitch because he was one of the most intimidating talkers in Premier League history. In fact, Sir Alex Ferguson, who was no slouch when it came to talking players to task, claimed that the hardest part of Roy Keane's body was his tongue. Number 3, Richard Dunne. Dunne enjoyed a long career in the Premier League, only spending 2 seasons outside of the top flight with Queen's Park Rangers and Manchester City in his nearly 20 years as a professional. Though he wasn't blessed with pace or precision, he was, however, great at getting red cards. In fact, he got 8 of them and has the all-time leading record of 10 own goals. It's pretty safe to say that Dunne's attributes were more physical than technical. Number 2, Duncan Ferguson. If Roy Keane is the most intimidating player in Premier League history, then Duncan Ferguson might just be the most angry, or at least psychotic. Oddly, he's the only forward to make it in this list, and it's safe to say that Ferguson was not afraid to take on defenders in the most literal sense. He managed to amass 8 red cards during his time with Everton and Newcastle United in the Premier League, and he was certainly no wallflower. 6 of his sending offs were straight reds, the highest of any player in this list, and the final red card in his career was against Wigan, which was a particular low point or high point, whichever way you want to look at it. Personally, we quite like it, especially for Jimmy Bullard's reaction, which was absolutely hilarious. I mean, how else do you react to somebody punching your teammate in the face? And number 1, Patrick Vieira. Although he technically joined first alongside Dunne and Ferguson, all of whom got 8 red cards apiece, Vieira deserves the top spot on this list for demonstrating something important about the manner of which a player can be sent off. Surprisingly, only 2 of Vieira's red cards were straight reds, with the other 6 resulting in him picking up 2 yellow cards, and the majority of the time, his dismissals came in the second half. Undoubtedly, Vieira was capable of overstepping the line on and off the pitch in terms of his behaviour, but the fearsomeness he showed on the pitch was deployed on behalf of his team, even when it worked against them. We're pretty sure that Arsenal fans would give their left arm to have someone like Patrick Vieira back in their team. And that's our list. Do you think anyone will ever overtake Vieira, Dunne and Ferguson's record? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and share this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.